right now we're back today. We've got Big Lala in the building as usual. It's been a while. You guys have asked for Big Lala here and there. You've been asking me. I said, me, I don't know where Big Lala is. So, but of course, Big Lala is back again with you guys. You asked for him, and would I say yes? He's back. Big Lala, how far?
A day. Anything for the boys.
What's going on, bro? Kilo Shele.
Not too much, not too much.
Anyways, we'll go straight down to the business of the day. We know WIZKID and of course Burna have our two artists who have really done well for themselves over the years in Afrobeat. These guys are like two of the biggest and the best to ever do it. But
Hmm.
there's been lots and lots of talks about superiority here and there. People trying to claim and the fans as well not agreeing for themselves the FC guys are saying the outsiders are to blame for that. Outsiders are saying the FC are to blame for that. Even Bonner Boy came, as far as saying, or if not for the fact that Wiz is his guy, he would have decked, saying good deck Whiskey, basically, trying to say Whiskey is my guy, and you guys FC, I don't like you guys at all. I'm never going to like you guys for anything, in any way. Anyways, in terms of concerts and shows and everything, these two guys as well have done really well for themselves, selling out shows, arenas, venues. Right now, it is time to fill up the stadium for this artist. Bonner Boy actually, talked about him doing a show in London on the 3rd of June 2023. That is in about 7 months, from now. Bonabo is set to host a show at the London Stadium, 90,000 capacity, 90K capacity London Stadium. First and foremost, do you think Burna Boy can pull that off successfully?
With I mean the exploit of Burna Boy of late,
Mm-hmm.
with that of Wiz as well, it's a big task. I mean we've talked about this
Mm-hmm.
before, and
Yeah,
we've had to look at how these guys can actually pull this off.
do
But
this
I
up. Yeah.
mean, it's 80,000 capacity. We're not sure. We don't. That's the capacity, but we're not sure if that's what they're going to be gunning for. If you understand what I
Yeah.
mean, they might
Mm-hmm.
they might just. I mean, it's a big arena. It's a big stadium, right? Um, I don't think either of them are going to do a 80K capacity. It's punching above uh, the the
The
the,
weight.
the, the limits that they've actually set for them. Not like it's a limit, but the bar that they've actually set for themselves in the past. It's a good thing that they're trying to do something like this. But I don't. It's not even if I say they're not going to. It doesn't mean it's bad. Before people misunderstand,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Is I don't think
I mean, the
either
highest
of them
Burna
really
Boy has done is the 21,000 State Farm arena in Atlanta that he did. That one even bigger than the MSG that he did, which Whiskey just did. Now, Burna Boy has done the MSG. Whiskey just did the MSG. Burna Boy has done the Ziggo Dome, you know, in Netherlands. Whiskey as well just did the Ziggo Dome. Now, Burna Boy announced this concert or this stadium thing, and WIZKID as well has said London Stadium date, which means that WIZKID also wants to do a date at the London Stadium. The same, maybe the same stadium that Burna Boy is set to use. Now, that has brought out a lot of fans actually talking about stuff. And the question that keeps arising right now is why is WIZKID copying Burna Boy? How true or
I
how
don't think it's
wrong or how false is that?
no. I don't think it's a case of copy. Even though in the past I've said that the moves that Burna Boy is making, the arenas that he's going to, the several cities he's touring,
Yeah,
it's like he's going around the world and making a mark for himself there and said, "Oh, I did this first here,
yeah,
I did this first here," and he's done it in several big arenas. And I said
yeah,
back then, if I remember, I said Wiz also has to do the same thing because Burna Boy he's setting a precedent in these places that I've been here, I've done this, and I've set this record.
yeah.
someone else has to come in and do the same, and to at least to know that. I mean, what Burna Boy has actually done is made it viable for any other artist to say, "Oh, we can do this here." He's
Yeah,
made that venue viable
yeah,
for Afrobeats or
yeah.
sounds from Africa. You get, so if Wiz is doing it, it's not because Wiz wants to do it. It's because the people who are the organizers who have seen what Afrobeat can pull to that venue have seen that, oh, of course
Mm-hmm.
there's an opportunity here, and then who else is next that we can bring up here? And then they'll start trying to strike up deals with Wiz, with any other possible person that they think can fill up those arenas and bring a different variety of sound to those arenas. So it's not a matter
Mm-hmm.
of copy. If Burna has done it and the people who are the organizers say, oh, I think Wiz can do this, let's give Wiz a shot and try and strike a deal. And then Wiz does it, right?
Mm,
Will we say no? Will Whiskey say no? He's not going to say
mm.
no to it. So it's not a matter of copy, even though it may look like it, because all these places he's going are places where Burna Boy has touched and
Yeah, yeah,
he has made his mark. Which is
yeah.
why I said back then that Wiz also has to start looking at these other venues that nobody has touched before, so that he also can make his mark, so that it won't be like he's copying. You get, but it's not a case of copy. I don't see it as a case of copying. But if someone
Okay,
has,
but
if one Afrobeat star has done it, then the other one
yeah,
can do it.
in defense of the people who have been talking, especially the Burna Boy fans, talking about how they believe that WIZKID is actually following in Burna Boy's footsteps, in terms of going for all of these shows. Why does it seem to be like Burna Boy actually gets to do that first before WIZKID announces, or before WIZKID gets to do it? I
No,
mean,
you see,
two different scenarios right now. In fact, three right now. We've seen the MSG get done in April by Burna Boy. Whiskey just did in November. Zigo Dome in about May or June, and Whiskey just did in November as well. And now Burna Boy announced the London Stadium, and Whiskey just announced as well. Is this a case of coincidence, or it's just a case of I am actually ahead of the game, that's from Bonner's perspective. Or you think Whiskey, looks at these things
if
or
you
takes his
if you
time.
understand, so if you understand that
Yeah,
it's not a case of Wiz. It's a case of the people who are the organizers, who are in charge of this thing. I've
yeah.
seen what Afrobeat can do in these arenas or in
So
these.
why did they go for Bonner first?
Just wait. That's the question I want to answer. I want to answer for you. Bona, you can give him the credit because he has seen far. If you remember, he made an announcement. Was
On
it like a
Twitter?
year ago
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
said he's only looking at doing arenas and filling out arenas and big
Big
capacity,
venues.
big
Mm-hmm.
venues. Like he said that when he was going to go on tour. So this
Yeah,
is him acting out a vision he saw for himself and he worked towards achieving it. You have to give him the credit for that because that's what he wanted to do. That's he had that in mind and he was able to achieve it. So if he has done that, and the people who actually were part of who did this, who brought this gig to him and said, "Oh, this was a very very good thing that happened," and we're so happy that African sounds or African songs are able to do well and pull this much crowd here. Who is next in
yeah.
line that we can bring on board? Then Wiz, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, Wiz would not say no to it. He won't say no to someone who's, oh, come and perform in Zigodo, come and perform
Yeah,
in MSG. Who would say
yeah,
no to that? So would you say because Bona has already done it first, I won't do it? No, it doesn't make sense. If anything, what he
yeah,
can do is try and up one in terms of the what's it called? In terms of the performance, in terms of his the crowd is able to pull out on the day, right? He's done he I mean if that was the case for if it was the other way around, with Burna Boy had said no to the O2 Arena, which would have been his, I would like say his biggest as at that time,
yeah,
because Wiz
yeah,
had done it before, or because Davido had done it. You get, nobody would say no to.
yeah.
It's not like there are replicas of these arenas in different places. It is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. Burna got there first, give him the credit. He saw the future. He announced that that's what he wanted to do, and he did it.
Yeah,
So this is not a case
yeah.
of Wiz copying. It's just Burna did it first. Give him the credit. Then Wiz is doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I also want him Wiz to do the same, and he's doing it right now. He's
Yeah.
going to these places, also making his mark. The best he can do is trying to up one Burna or trying to do better than Burna in terms of the crowd he pulls, the whole atmosphere, the whole experience he gives to the fans who will come to that arena, to that stadium. Yes. And as regards this London show, Burna has announced yes, but the information I'm seeing here is it looks like Wiz might actually be first before Burna. That's what it looks like because there's a
Hmm.
lot of pictures circulating of a pre-sale background. I don't know how true it is.
Yeah.
That Wiz would be on June 1st and Burna is on June 3rd.
On
If
June
if that
3rd. I think
yeah
on
if
June
that's
3rd
the
here.
case yeah if that's the case then this whole theory of copying who would not get because Wiz
Yeah.
would now be doing that London Stadium 8K was the first before
Hmm.
Burna. But I don't think
Yeah.
it should be a who does it first.
Yeah.
I just feel we should just be glad that these two guys are breaking boundaries, are setting are putting Afrobeats in different areas of
New
the world,
goals. Yeah. Yeah.
setting
Yeah.
new goals for people to achieve. To now, people before what was the goal before, especially in the UK, is what you want to do O2 Arena. I mean, from there you want to
Bridgeton
do
and the rest of them. Yeah.
those were the goals. But now the goal has risen beyond that. People are doing more and more. I mean, the talk was Wembley before. Maybe Wembley did not pull through, and then London Stadium is another viable option for them. And it looks like
Mhm.
both of them are going to get the gig.
Does this put a pressure on a WIZKID, for example? I mean, all the
Well,
talks about, oh, it's copying Burna Boy, or Burna announces first, or does it put a pressure on WIZKID in any way?
I don't think it puts any pressure, but what I think is there's been some sort of fiction between the two of them of late, even though it's not people don't people cannot really tell. But the way both of them have
Mm.
been moving of late, I mean Wiz ranting before his album dropped. Who do you think that rant was for? People will say it's for Burna, people will say it's for the other people. It might be for Burna, it might be for other people, but Wiz was playing nice was playing nice at some points, but it looks like before the album dropped, he was not playing nice. And if
Yeah.
not for what happened to Davido, you'd have actually continued to see the other side of that Wiz. Because of what happened, I think he just decided to calm that down. Right? He's not playing nice. He was to me he wasn't even adhering to the theme of that album, More Love Less Evil, because
More
he
love,
was
less
talking a
ego.
lot of he was talking a lot
It's
of things
more
like
war.
yeah, it was more war. You get so to be fair to be fair on him, I mean he's giving it a good shot. Bonner has also trespassed in a way in in of recent with his clashes with FC, and he's made some remarks that even if I was with, you wouldn't want to
Yeah.
you won't take oh,
Yeah.
you won't
Yeah. Yeah.
accept those kind of snide remarks towards you. But it happened. I'm pretty sure we saw all of it, and then maybe I don't know. Maybe in the future we'll see more of this unfold. Yeah, but it looks like there's a friction in that friendship at
Mm.
the moment.
Anyways, we wish both of them all the very best. Actually, I think that it also, I think you may be right. Looks like there's a friction between these two artists because anytime Burna Boy talks about WIZKID FC, he doesn't say FC. He said WIZKID's delusional fans, WIZKID's, silly fans,
Yeah,
WIZKID this, WIZKID
those are
that.
FC
And
members.
if not for the fact that so the London Stadium, we know Bonner did the MSG. WIZKID as well did the MSG. Burna Boy did the Ziggo Dome Arena in the Netherlands. WIZKID just did it recently as well. And right now, Burna Boy announced the London Stadium in 2023. WIZKID as well has announced that yes, a London date is coming. Even there could be a date as early as June the 1st or in 2023. Let's have your thoughts. A lot of fans, of Burna Boy actually think WIZKID is actually trailing Burna Boy in terms of trying to follow him bumper to bumper and all of that. What do you think? Is that true or not? Put your comments down below. We'll see you guys on the very next live. Please continue to stay safe and continue to subscribe to Gusto TV. We'll see you guys on the next one. Big Lala, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.